Hey, what's up, you guys? So, today I am going to conclude my unfinished thoughts from yesterday regarding the stuff that I think is pretty useful for people to know, but it seems to be that these types of skills are just dying, or at least I'm not perceiving them as often, or let alone, I don't hear people talking about having an interest in learning this type of thing. So, yeah, next on the list, I had something that maybe some of you guys will agree with or may entirely disagree, and that is how to install outdated hardware. And the reason I say this is because oftentimes you may go somewhere and whomever you're visiting is not very technologically savvy. So you may want to help them get their TV set up or get their computer set up because it may be one of those Windows like 90 something that the cables look completely different from what you're used to, and that they may have keyboards that still have the wires and everything, unlike more modern equipment that tends to be all Bluetooth and wireless and all that good stuff. So if you are brought up in a generation where mostly everything is just done without wires, you may forget your sense of how to properly put together this type of thing. And because not all hardware has gone extinct, I think it's important to retain that skill, your ability to install that stuff. And I see you, Jordan. How's it going? It's good to see you around here. I feel like I have missed you in the past times that I've been streaming, so I apologize for that. But it's good to see you. But yeah, you guys, I think that outdated hardware, it's important to know how to install it just in case your more modern stuff also fails, because who hasn't gone through that situation? I know it happened to me about a year and a half ago. My phone had an issue, I had to ship it away, and because I knew how to use an older phone, I could still have a little bit of internet access, not as much, but at least I wasn't like back to the stone age. But I felt proud of myself because it felt awkward. It was slow. I had to actually physically press down buttons as opposed to just tapping a screen. So it felt like I was going back in time, but I knew how to use an old device. How to drive manual. Now, as passionate as your girl is about driving, your girl doesn't know how to drive manual, and I want to learn how to drive manual. Not because I am an aspiring Formula One driver. I'm not. It's just that I feel like it's important to know because I find myself riding in vehicles that are operated by a manual gear, and I see the person like pushing an extra pedal or using their left leg actually, which for me, my left leg just sits back and chills while I'm driving. And then I see all kinds of movements going on with the right hand, and I don't know what that is all about. I know that it's different gears, but how do you even go about that? What's the pattern to follow? So that is something I would like to learn how to do. I remember last year I was watching videos about it, but I absolutely forgot everything already because I've never practiced it. I'm not good at learning stuff theoretically. I have to practice it, touch it, apply it, conduct it myself. So I know that something that tripped me was how to go up a hill, and I'm pretty sure that I would be an absolute failure at that. So I hope that in case of emergency, nothing happens to my driver who is driving their vehicle manual, because I'm not going very far. So that's kind of frustrating for me. I don't need to be the owner of a manual drive vehicle. I just want to know how to drive it. Um, I know my father has always driven stick shift. My brother also owns a stick shift vehicle. And when he tried to drive my car, he was like, I keep trying to press a clutch when there isn't any. And I'm like, I also see you holding the freaking transmission thingy. You don't need to be placing your hand on that. So drive like me, drive like a girl, like this. So, but yeah, you guys, that is something that I have pending to learn how to do. And let's see, I feel like someone left a comment. Engage the clutch with the left foot, then shift. Yeah, that. I know that it had like kind of an unlocking property, but I also know that the engine kind of sounds differently, and that it prompts you on how to, like, how do you call it? Like change gears, but it's just I'm not used to that. I'm not used to doing so much multitasking when driving. Like my car as an automatic, it just takes care of everything. So for me to be actually having to be aware of that, it sounds like a skill from another planet. But I know it's simple. It's just I've never practiced it. Also, I made a note of how to do things with your hands. And what I mean by that is stuff like crafting and putting stuff together. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't do much with their hands when it comes to building nowadays. It seems like my mom would always put stuff together, arrange things, and if something breaks in the house, she usually knows how to stitch it all up. If she wants to change the appearance of something, she knows how to do it. Like she can take a shirt and turn it into something completely different. If she needs to hang up her clothes for them to dry, but we don't have a thing outside for you to just pin your clothes to it and let them be dried by the sun, she has a way of like creating some kind of wiring system to where she has like her own laundry in the backyard. And for me, that is just incredible. She can just uh, create things out of the blue. I think she once made an umbrella with stuff that she found around the house. And I'm like, okay. So it's cool that she has that type of an imagination. I can do something like that if the situation is really, really like critical and I need something to just help me resolve. But normally, I like to just go to the store and buy something that is going to serve the purpose that I intend for it, as opposed to being creative with the stuff that I have at home and save money, but also have fun creating something. See what I mean? But I feel like we don't develop our skills very much when it comes to just building things, making things, even playing games. Like it's all so digital now that I feel like that's dying. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I just, um, yeah. When you get spoiled to a point that you can just go out to the store and get what you need, you don't think about this stuff. So it's kind of painful for me how unimaginative I can be. Um, and I made a note of this, but how to fix and make your own clothes. And the reason I wrote that down is because I had these pairs of skinny jeans that I realized they had a hole in the legs and they're amongst my favorites. And I said, I cannot be having holes in my favorite jeans and let alone go out to the store and buy new jeans because new jeans have to be so expensive. But because I have had those jeans for quite some times and they're the ones that fit my lower body so perfectly, I was like, Mommy, is there anything that you can do to save the life of my precious blue jeans? And she said, Of course, honey, just throw them on top of my bed and I will take care of them in daytime when I can see better. And then she put patches on them, and those mugs look like new. So I'm like, yes, I did not have to spend like 15, 20, 30, 40, $50 on a new pair of jeans, whatever it was. But also, there are some clothes that I'm just kind of emotionally attached to because I saw them one time, I decided to purchase them, and I'm like, I can see myself wearing this for the rest of my life. So I don't want to lose it, but to see her being able to fix anything, and I absolutely do not have any like skills to put clothes together, it kind of bums me out. But she tells me that she had like a class called home ec, and amongst other classes that helped her get stuff done, um, when it comes to developing skills with your hands. So I'm just so jealous. I feel like my education, all it did was attempt to exercise my brain. And what I mean by that is I now realize that I was taught a bunch of lies while I was in school. So it's like I feel like my mental capacity compared to hers and when she was my age is like severely limited. But at least I like to just find refuge on the stuff that I can excel at currently and do everything with confidence. But at the same time, I feel like I throw away so much money to where if I had skills like that, I would not need to be buying clothes, especially the ones that I just shred at the gym because I go extreme and I have to purchase a new pair of leggings or a new shirt, something every like 4 months or so. So, that's not sustainable. And I'm sure that maybe the stuff that I have discarded in the past maybe had a solution, but I did not consult someone to fix it for me. And even getting jeans fixed, for example, it can get pretty pricey. So, it's just, I wish that I would have learned those things earlier on in my life. I need to drive more. Hello. Oh, hi, Skeleton. Day. I'm like, hey, whatever happened to that guy? I feel like I don't see him in my streams anymore. So I thought about sending you a message, but I may have kinda very much forgotten. Xavier, you really love life experience different things to make a topic. Oh yeah, absolutely. Pretty much anything that I can observe and any thought that my brain just processes. You can expect for me to throw in a video because I find this stuff fascinating. It's the type of conversations that I wish I could have with people more often. But how can I talk to people when people are busy and we never have the same schedules? And let alone some people just ain't interested in stuff like this. Or maybe it's the way that the topic is presented. It may not be as appealing to them. But anyways, people are people. They have their lives going on. I'm not trying to interfere with it, but you know what I'm saying. Just talk to a sister, okay? When I was a child, my mom had a clothesline. They were always so fresh smelling. Yes. Oh my God. One of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite things actually that I learned was when I did my laundry. It was so exciting. I don't remember how old I was, but I remember getting my first load of laundry done, and it was like I just wanted to just lay on top of it because it smelled so fresh. It was warm. It felt like food that's fresh out of the oven. It was fresh out of the dryer. And I remember just the softness of it. And some of it felt staticky because I forget to put those little, what do you call those? It's those tissues that you can throw on your clothes when it's in the dryer. And that made all the difference in the world, especially in the winter, because that stuff gets staticky. And in the dark, I ran my fingers through it and I could see the sparks. It looked like one of those pianos that have those lights, all those fancy things that people come out with these days. Um, but yeah, I will never forget how happy I was that I could get my clothes clean all by myself and it was just fresh. I could pick the scent that I wanted on my clothes. Like, this is probably gonna sound boring, but I love me some lavender. I love lavender anything. So the fact that anytime that I wanted, I could be like, let's freshen up my clothes and I don't have to wait for like mom to do it for me. That was exciting. I think I was like 12, 13 when I did my first laundry load. I don't even remember, but I will never forget my excitement. So yeah, it's crazy to me that there's still people who in their 20s they still don't know how to wash their clothes. I'm like, you probably lived a spoiled life. But in some people's defense, some people may live with someone who is very particular, and to avoid upsetting this person with their particularness, they decide to be like, honey, how do I do this? Because you're just trying to avoid that fight. And I can think of this one couple who I personally know that is like this. And the reason I say this is because one time I heard her on the phone, and it was him, and she told me what happened. Like, can you believe that he called me to ask me how to wash the clothes? Like, put like colors together, and normal cycle, this and this and that. And I'm like, okay. And then she told me that he said that he was worried about messing her clothes up. And I'm like, oh, okay, that kind of a deal. I thought it was funny. But yeah. Let's see. The only way to stop it dying is to part. Mate. Sorry, my stuff ain't nothing like being forgot about. Gift. Shoot, I'm having trouble scrolling. Every single day, right after shower. I think they make wash. I like vanilla myself. Oh yeah, they have lavender in everything. Soap bars. There's even a lavender drink, and it is good actually. It's one of those fermented probiotic thingies. I remember it being super good. It's like when you first sip it, it's like it kind of like hits you. But I liked it. It had this bitterness to it. That bitterness or sour. I don't even remember. But I just remember that flavor so much. And I said, I need to get this again. And guess what? As soon as I started buying it, they discontinued it. So it happens every single time. But, anyways, lavender conditioner, shampoo, which is totally what I just used in my Majestic hair. And have I had a lavender perfume? I don't think I have. You know how they have those body splashes that you just go. I don't think I've ever used one of those. I feel like I have used one of those lavender. Um, it's like this thing that sort of works in a sublime way. It's like solid, and you open it up, and it exudes the scent. And you also have the option of purchasing the ones that you can plug into the outlet. But I don't trust those because I can be pretty forgetful. So I was afraid that I would forget one of those mugs plugged in, and anything can happen. And then I come back and my house is like turned into ashes. So I said, I'm gonna avoid those. But I remember whatever thing I'm thinking about, but I don't remember the name because it's been like 10 years since I used this. Whatever that was a really cool experience. But I want to say my favorite kind of soap has to be triple milled lavender. It's a block that's this thick, and it usually takes forever for it to melt unless you take like a really, really, really hot shower. But that is definitely the best smell ever for me. Let's see. I think they make a. Thank God for the weather down. Don't even push my weather button because I am so fed up with the hot weather. I need my long sleeves. I need to be wearing my boots and just slippers, and for my feet to feel cold and painful. But at least I can like wrap them both in my hands and feel them being really cold, and my hands are pretty warm. So I look forward to all that stuff. Plus the seasonal items like the pumpkin spice, and then the toy keys, and whatever else that people like to eat in the holidays. I'm there for the food. I'm not there particularly for the celebration or the meaning of the holidays. I'm sure I'll stream about those again, although I did something last year pertaining to those topics. But every year there's something new to observe, you know. But I am definitely not a fan of that stupid Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. It's like you're so stuffed from eating so much the night before, and you're getting up like at 4 a.m. Your stuff is not even digested properly, and you're just going out there to participate in the stampede and all that good stuff. People get hurt. Some people even end up losing their lives because you're trying to get a deal. I mean, when it comes to saving money, I'm not against that. These are hard times, but I feel like people spend money on the wrong stuff, you know? So I feel like just wait. You may not really need that new TV. If you already have a TV, why are you thinking about buying a new one? Just because they added a new feature and the colors are a little brighter or something? Just no. You need to have some self control if your situation economically is dire. So sometimes I don't feel bad for the people who are in a bad situation, because it's okay to spoil yourself in life, but you need to determine your values a little better. So, but anyways, again, I don't want to like be one of those people who tells people how to live their lives and what to do with their money. But I know I wouldn't be spending money if I don't have it. Um, like if I know that I'll be tight on bills, I would not be dropping thousands of dollars on a new little thing. I feel sorry for the store cashiers on Black Friday. Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, I would not. I don't think I would be able to survive uh, working somewhere like, let's see, Best Buy, because everyone wants that freaking new Mac, the new, well, what's popular these days? The PlayStation 20 and all that. I don't even know. Are are they even talking about a new PlayStation, or are they stuck on the fourth one? I never played beyond the PS2, so I wouldn't know. But you know, whenever the PS5 gets announced, I know someone's gonna want to get on it. Yes, you're right. Memory life is super important. Every day is different than the world people don't notice. All right. Let's see. What else have I talked about? Oh, another thing that I said that I think people ought to know, and Skeleton, you're going to love this, is how to plant a garden and care for it. Because let me tell you, every single green living being with roots that I have ever owned has never made it past 3, 4, 5 days in my house. I just do not have any skill, any talent, any sense of caring for a plant that I put my grandmother and I guess my mother to shame, because they can grow stuff. I mean, the only thing that I can grow is my hair, and I have genetics to thank for that. But for some reason, gardens, I can't do it. Stuff just dies on me, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm giving you water. What is it called? Like fertilizing you, giving you good soil, and you still die on me. Like, damn. Like, what do you need? You know. So I just wish I were good at planting stuff to where I can, like, it yields something to where I don't need to buy whatever it is that I'm growing anymore. I can imagine myself just for shits and giggles, I plant tomatoes and those yield, and I don't even eat tomatoes. Now, I love me some ketchup and some salsa, so I'm sure that I'll do something with the tomatoes. But like me, just digging tomatoes for what they are, just no. I have to really, really, really spice them all up before I dig into tomatoes. You know, if it's not in salsa form nor ketchup, I don't do tomatoes. So, and someone just gave me a compliment on my majestic hair. Thanks a lot. Because let me tell you, this thing and I go, of course, as far back as whenever I grew. I think I was born with hair, but it looked straight. And I used to absolutely detest my hair because I just didn't know how to care for it. And for all of you guys who have had the misfortune of seeing my kid photos, to which I still apologize for, um, you can see my frustration. And I will never forget my seventh grade yearbook photo. Just, oh, we don't talk about that. But maybe someday I'll have the guts to like dig it up from my box of lost memories and put myself to shame. Your hair is long, blazing, and colorful. Fun fact, do you guys know that I was born a brunette? But for some reason, my hair just decided, no, black. Yeah, it's in my kid photos. You can see it too. It even seemed to have a few blondish highlights. They were very, very subtle, but it wasn't until I want to say when I turned 8, 9 or so. That's when my hair just transformed, and it was never the same. And it used to be far curlier than this, and this is sort of more relaxed. I don't do anything to it, it just happened. So, yeah, you guys, fun fact about me. I know I featured that on a video a long time ago, but I don't know. I don't even remember what it was entitled. But I shall find it at some point and repost it for you guys to just indulge in. And then finally, in my list, I said how to fix cars. Of course, because just like growing your own garden, if you can grow your own garden, that's food that you don't have to buy. And if you can fix your car, that's a trip to the mechanic that you don't have to do. So for me, it would be exciting to learn how to change the oil because every single guy talks about it. They talk about it and they say that it's easy, that they don't see why I couldn't do it. So I just need to just hang out with someone and be like, brother, can you show me? And then see how life treats me. I can anticipate messy hands, oil everywhere, everything looking dark, and maybe getting sweaty and whatnot, but I would do it. I mean, you know, I'm kind of confident in myself. I'm sure that I have to be able to do something. If I own a vehicle, I should be able to take care of it. So I would give it a shot. If I find myself messing with that, I'll be sure to film it so that you guys can laugh at me. Just pitifully failing at my first attempt. Now I'm just playing. I'm confident. But yeah, I think it would be really important to know how to fix your car so that you can save that money because fixing a car can get expensive very easily. Fortunately, I have not gone through that experience yet because my car is still relatively young, but I know the problems are coming. We cannot escape car problems. So, yeah. I am sorry, my friend. I am having connection error. I am sure you know my website and it won't allow me to post it here, but come on over and visit me. We can collab if you want. Sure, I shall visit your site. I will not be a ghost in your life anymore. But don't be discouraged if that doesn't happen immediately. But nah, I'll do better. I'll do better. I have to just catch up with people who I promised I would catch up with, and I've just been using my exhaustion as an excuse, but there is no excuse. I'll catch up with you. I promise. You know that I always do, even if it's like 5 months later. Be cool. We meet your brother and your mother on video with you. Be epic. You know what? I'll try to have them in a video one of these days. My mom is the one who helped me film that modeling one. So on the one clip toward the end where I'm like looking over my shoulder, she was telling me something, and that's why. No, I was asking her something. I'm like, do you have it rolling already? Da, 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 da. And she was like, yes, this and that, be and go and be a star and do whatever funny thing she said. Yeah, pretty encouraging. Newer cars require a scope for most do you mean diagnosis or diogenes? Because I don't know what diogenes are. I'm already in a bath. Wow, I did that. I love that video. Well, yeah, no. Basically, it was just a compilation of stuff that just wasn't intended to be on film. So, like, another thing happened. Oh, yeah, when I was doing one of the shots of sitting on my car and then my heels just fell. That was not planned. That was an actual legit blooper. And the best thing about it is I did not know that I was being filmed because my intention was for start that take with me inside the car already. But when mom told me that she had that recorded, I was like, nah. So I got up and I went to her and I yanked the phone out of her hand and I was like, let me see, let me see. And it turns out that it was on film, perfectly shot, perfectly clear. So I said, Mommy, you have just given me a gem because I love it when stuff happens and you don't know that it's been recorded. I feel like the most genuine videos out there that I've personally seen are the ones where people are caught by surprise. So it was good that that happened to me. A moment that I was just not planning was caught on film. Just like with Dusty, that one short clip that I uploaded telling him, "Are you a licensed driver?" And then he like retreated his boss. That was awesome because I just happened to be randomly just pointing the camera at him, and that occurred to me to say, and then he reacted in that way, so it made it funny. So I'm like, it's awesome. It's like divine intervention telling me, do this, and you will get something cool to showcase. All right, guys, I think I am going to conclude my rambling right here because I have finally covered all of the points that I had written down in my almighty list of just notes that I jot down to aid me at being not as sidetracked as I usually am on streams, and I end up talking for an hour about something completely unrelated and then get back on topic, and then my attempts are just futile to focus again. But yeah, it was good to see you guys and be able to hang out, and for my connection to not die on me like it always does. I'm always worried about that. It seems like my phone is doing better. I've been doing a lot of cleaning up and just deleting junk. So maybe the less that I carry on it, the better its performance will be. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the cold weather. Maybe that also has something to do. I don't know. But yeah, high fives, Emery. Yeah, you go, dude. Oh man. And then what did Steve say? He's for sharing your time. No, thank you guys, because it's always amazing to me that you guys are there just looking for. So yeah, that will ensure that I return. I mean, even before I had you guys, I was pretty loyal to uploading regularly. But of course, if someone is there to listen, then it's fun. It's more fun. Not gonna deny it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you later. Bye.